in the second half that I know Eugene Chiswick are going to break down in just a bit, provide the War Eagle with a 6-point win. Here's Gus.
You know, we didn't play our best. You got to give them credit. They're a really good team. Came out with a hot start. We turned the ball over. We didn't play our best, but we found a way to win. Real proud of this group. And I think you'll see that team win a whole lot of games, and I think they're one of the best teams in the country.
It's just a surreal moment. It really is. I'm thankful for the opportunity. It came down to the wire. Oregon was an incredible team. But I just kept telling Seth, your moment's going to come, and when it comes, we got to build on it, and we got to make it. So sure enough, it came, and he makes the biggest play of the game.
Your offense knew when you took the field that you had to do something special. What were you guys talking about before you took the field?
We got to win. We got to win the game. Do whatever it takes to win the game. Get in field goal range first, and then we'll go from there. Down the stretch, we made some great catches there. Great calls to get us down the field. And once again, there in the third quarter, we just started running the ball, and our defense played out of their minds in the second half. And so I wouldn't be here without everybody else, that's for sure.
Wow. Down the stretch, the dude making his first career start outplayed the dude making his 28th that's going to be in the NFL this time next year.
Yeah.
That's got to be a confidence boost for Bo Nix.
Well, credit the coaching staff as a whole for not panicking. Right. They didn't panic when Oregon was going up and down the field offensively against Auburn defense, and they didn't panic when Bo Nix started slowly. That offense did not do much early on, but probably another coach would have been tempted to put Gatewood in. He showed confidence in his young quarterback. It put him in positions to where he was going to have to win the game. They weren't playing to cover him up. They were using him to help him win the football game, and he made plays when he had to make them. Both throwing the football and running it, had some critical scrambles, and look, after making interceptions like that, it would have been easy for him to go in a hole, but he didn't.
That's where I got to give him the credit, guys. I mean, you sit there and look at the way he started the game with 2 interceptions, and look at the way he finished it. 4th and 3, he scrambles for the first down. If he doesn't do that, it's game, set, match. It's over. Then he hits, I think it was Eli Stove on the sideline.
Yep.
Then maybe it was Seth.
That was Seth, yep.
And then he hits Seth for the touchdown with, 9 seconds left? Yeah. That is an incredible finish, but you know what? We can talk offense all we want.
Here we go.
They stayed in the game because of what?
Defense.
Absolutely, because 153 starts on Oregon's offensive line. Best in the country for 1 quarter. Because the next 3, they got shellacked. There was no run game after the first quarter. There was no passes down the field after the first quarter. The Auburn defense stepped up between the D-line, the linebackers, who were all replaced. There were no returning linebackers. In the secondary, they were phenomenal in the last 2.5 quarters. Bottom line.
That defense, they gave up 2 of 4 first downs in the first quarter. After that, 2 of 10 the next 3. They stiffened up and able to get that offense back on the field time and time again.
Oregon had a guy by the name of C.J. Verdell who tore Auburn apart running the football in the first quarter.
Absolutely.
Didn't hear from him again. Unbelievable.
Defense, man.
What a great win.
Wins championships.
In a power league against a power league, the SEC comes out on top. And frankly, this isn't our concern, but it is the Pac-12's concern because Oregon's one of the favorites there. But we're not overly concerned with them, right?
Really. Not really.
Auburn a winner. What about their biggest rival?
Maybe somebody took the over on?
I don't know
what he's talking about. Paul Feinbaum is here with us this morning. Look, you got Georgia, you had LSU, and Alabama all taking care of business on the first weekend of the college football year. Who do you see as a legitimate threat to Alabama's success this season?
Georgia, by far, is the closest. I think Georgia and Alabama are neck and neck right now. And Georgia didn't look great last night, but they'll have Notre Dame in a couple weeks. After that, you have to take LSU seriously. Joe Brady came over from the Saints. Of course, I think I could do well coaching Drew Brees. He did a really nice job last night. But next week, LSU takes on Texas. And they were either going to be in or out, but you have to consider Auburn now as a possibility. Bo Nix looked like he knew what he was doing last night in the clutch. Not great numbers, but that doesn't matter. The biggest number was at the end of the game. So I think those are your contenders. That's about it.
All right, let's talk about the Pac-12. Yesterday on this program, joining us from Nashville, you said the only way the Pac-12 gets into the college football playoff is with a ticket. That gave us a chuckle. Yeah. But then you look at how they've fared so far. Arizona loses, UCLA loses, obviously Oregon loses, and USC loses its quarterback in the win. How do you assess that conference here after the first full weekend here of the college football season?
You guys know I'm not one of those guys who just writes a league off after week 1. Yes, I am going to. I mean, I don't see a path. I know Stanford plays. They struggled yesterday. I know Utah has been mentioned. But Oregon was the best shot, and that shot went down last night. There's no way to recover. You can't beat a bunch of Pac-12 teams and say, hey, we deserve to be in. It's not going to work.
So at the end of the day, a one-loss SEC team is more powerful
Absolutely.
to you. Okay.
The schedule is much tougher.
Yeah. One of the highlights of the night for me came when Washington State quarterback Anthony Gordon went 22 of 23, 4 touchdowns, and 330 passing yards in the first half against New Mexico State. And of course, head coach Mike Leach was asked about his quarterback's performance before heading into the locker room at halftime. Listen to this. I just told you the stats. Listen to how he assessed him.
Coach, first start for Anthony Gordon at quarterback. What'd you see so far?
He's doing a decent job. We just got to worry about the second half.
Oh, my goodness.
Decent. He's fine.
Decent.
You know, one footnote. I know you
gem.
mentioned Tennessee. Mike Leach was about to be named or offered the Tennessee job a couple of years ago. The school president heard about it. She didn't like it. She fired the athletic director, and 7 coaching offers later, they ended up with Jeremy Pruitt. Think Leach would have worked out?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Better than yesterday, perhaps.
With that SEC
Speaking of
speed.
Tennessee, his thoughts on his alma mater's disaster day coming up in just a little bit.
When it found Seth Williams from 26 yards out. Nixon, number 16 Auburn, hand Justin Herbert, number 11 Oregon, their first loss of the season. So Bo Nix stopped looking like a freshman in that second half. He was the first true one to start, as we said, since 1946, and he gave the Tigers their first go-ahead touchdown in the final minute of regulation since the famous kick 6 in 2013.